Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you have been blessed by new music on the KPJOF radio show. That was Go by my man Jarrell. Look, I'm not going to hold back. We have Jarrell on the line, just like I promised, here for you. He's going to go ahead and give you his testimony, his bio, man. This guy is amazing. He's got so much going on. Jarrell, man, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, and it's an honor to be here on the station with you, man. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to jumping in with you, man.
Man, I appreciate you doing the interview. I know you're a busy man. You're a family man. You know, you're a husband. You're a father. You're a minister. You're a musician. You're an artist. You're a creative, man. You got a lot of stuff going on. You're a CEO, so you wear a lot of hats, man. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to conduct this interview, sir.
Absolutely, my brother. It's an honor and a privilege.
Yes, sir. So, Jay, give us a rundown. Give my audience a rundown of who you are. Just let them know your bio, your upbringing, how you got started in the ministry, your testimony, and just where you plan on going from here.
Yeah, man. So, the way that I actually got started, even just with Christian hip hop, I grew up in a Christian home. So my parents are really devout believers, man, that love the Lord.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so they were very intentional about raising their children, which is me. I have two sisters and a younger brother, raising us in the ways of the Lord, man. And so with that also came some conceptions about hip hop for me. I didn't even know that I could really do hip hop like for the Lord, because you're growing up in a Christian home.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just think, okay, there are certain things that are off limits.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not like it was ever spoken, but it was one of those things that's like, okay, rap is one of those things where I can't really, what I'm saying? We don't get down like that.
Right.
So, but man, it's funny, man, because I was actually, we were watching Christian TV, and there was a CCM singer who threw a little rap verse in his song, and I was like, dude, I didn't even know you could really do that.
Oh, wow.
And so I went in that day, man, and wrote my own little rap, and it was corny as I don't know what, but it was what it was.
Yeah.
So I started at that time, and I just kept writing, man. I kept writing throughout my teenage years, and during that time in my walk with the Lord, I just kind of started doing my own thing. I wasn't ever super rebellious or anything like that. But it was a car accident, man,
okay.
That really just kind of woke me up, and God used that car accident to let me know that I was just really living for myself and I wasn't living for Him.
Wow.
And so at that time, man, just kind of rededicated my life to the Lord. Actually ended up going to a Bible school called Texas Bible Institute out in Columbus, Texas.
Okay.
And then I kept on writing, and I had never really performed anything. And then a friend of mine heard that I wrote, and they were like, man, we got this show, and we're looking for artists. Can you jump on? And so me being afraid to do it alone, I started a group. That group lasted for about two and a half years.
Okay.
And then I just kind of went on my own, man. So it lasted during the time that I was in Bible school, and came back to San Antonio, where I'm from, and I jumped into youth ministry at my dad's church, actually.
Okay.
Jumped into youth ministry, and so yeah, man. Then I started kind of just doing stuff myself, rap-wise, and yeah, man, it's just been kind of a journey ever since then. A music and ministry journey, man. So now I'm overseeing the children's department, so that's 0 all the way through high school.
Wow.
And then I'm overseeing the worship art stuff too, and God's doing some incredible stuff with the rap, so I'm able to tour and do all kinds of cool stuff, man. So it's been a journey, man. It's been a journey.
So before we get to talking about Go, I want real quick, you started rap in your household was kind of like, no, we can't do that, it's not good, or whatever the case may be. Now that you're doing it, and you're doing it for the Christian community, how has your parents understanding, how have your parents taken to it, especially now that you're you're at your dad's church in the youth ministry? How have they taken it now that you have kind of brought it to a new level, new heights?
Yeah, man. Well, just like I said before, man, I don't think that growing up that it was ever said like, okay, you like rap, you can't do that. Sure, you know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things. Like when you're growing up, you hear things about rap, you don't see anybody else doing it around you, and then it's like, okay, well, I guess Christians we don't do that. Mm-hmm. But then I started listening to because we'd always go to the bookstores and things like that, and actually a friend of mine introduced me to Christian rap, like T-Bone and some of these other guys, and I'm like, what? Like I didn't, now some of the stuff like I didn't want to play in front of my parents because they were still, you know what I'm saying, they were still using some words. Sure. So, but I learned about that, man, and then also when I started doing it, I saw it as a tool that the Lord could use. Yes, sir. And that the art form itself isn't bad, but it's the hearts of people who do things that actually determine where it's going to go. And so yeah, man. As I'm doing it, I think my parents, they've kind of grown to accept it a little bit more, and they enjoy what I do. But as a whole, I think it's great for people to see, man, that there's things that are redeemable in culture. Yes, sir. And our heart is what determines where things go. Yes, our expressions. Yes, sir. So it's beautiful, man.
Well, I'm so glad that God has seen fit to make you an ambassador for the kingdom through the avenue of Christian hip hop, and that's very evident, by your song "Go," which we just played. Tell us about your song "Go" and the creation behind that, the creative behind that, and your intent for that song.
Yeah. So sonically, man, just talking music-wise, I've always been a fan of rap rock fusion. You know what I'm saying? And I think part of that may have to do with just the fact that I grew up listening to CCM. So okay. So part of that may just be some of that, but I just like the grittiness of rock, and then I just like the rawness of rap. You know what I'm saying? The realness, and so. Go is one of those tracks, man. I had a song on a previous EP called White Rags that was also a rock rap fusion, and so it was really cool to see how that was accepted, and I wanted to kind of just take it to another level with Go. So that's sonically how it happened. In my life, like during the time that I was writing, I was doing a lot of ministry. Just here at the church, my music is kind of taken a back, kind of taken a little slow hiatus. Okay. And it was on the back burner, and so the Lord challenged me during that time to go. You know what I'm saying? Wow. He was like, I gave you this gift, like, and so you need to do something with it. So the Go is on the EP called Between Dreams and Reality, and that's where I felt like I was. I always felt this tug towards music. Doing music as a career has always really been a dream of mine. Yep. But my reality was doing church work. So I felt like I was on this journey between dreams and reality, and so God kind of gave me a little kick in the pants and was like, "Go," you know what I'm saying? And just do stuff. It doesn't matter if you think you're gonna succeed or fail. The main thing is knowing that you're obedient to God, knowing that He's gonna lead and direct our paths. So yeah, man. Yes. What it is,
man. That's amazing, man. And your blend, the blend you were talking about with hip hop and rock, man. That's exact. I noticed it right off the bat, and I appreciate it. I actually really thoroughly enjoyed that sound. I mean, you have your own unique sound, you have your own unique feel. And then even when I went to your website, freedommusicgroup.com, and I went and looked at your videos, I saw the video for White Rags, and then I also, I actually watched all the videos, by the way, but I saw Social Suicide, and that video actually, you're like on stage with a rock band. I believe the name is PS150.
Yeah, PS150, man.
Yeah, man. So I really appreciate that uniqueness that you bring to Christian hip hop, and you know, like I've said in tons of interviews I've done before, each artist brings their own unique style, their own unique testimony, and I call it a unique language. Someone out there hears your music, they hear your sound, they feel your vibe, and that's what's needed to bring everybody to the kingdom, man. So I really appreciate you doing it in the way that you're doing it, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So you also have a tour going on. Tell us a little bit about the Go Tour.
Yeah, man. So the Go Tour, it's with a friend of mine. His name is Adonis Lindsay. He is actually a speaker out of Nashville. He also pastors. He's also the associate pastor of a church called Oasis International in Nashville. Really cool dude, man. And we reconnected. He came out with a book called Next, and the whole thrust behind Next is really kind of the same message as my message on Between Dreams and Reality, the EP.
Yes, sir. So
we connected with that, man, and so we actually started it out in Dallas, and it was pretty awesome, man. I actually did that right after I came back from Israel, man. I took a trip to Israel.
I remember that,
and we kicked off the Go Tour shortly after that, man. So it's been going pretty good, man. It's been going pretty good. We're kind of ending it out, and so it's been pretty awesome, man. Again, the whole challenge to people is, man, like God's given us some dreams, God's given us some goals, and I think sometimes we feel stuck. We don't know what to do next. And God is like, don't overthink this thing, just go.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And he told Abraham, hey, get from among your family, go to a place that I'm gonna show you. Like, he didn't even give Abraham the whole thing. He just said go.
Yeah.
And Abraham had the choice. Hey, man, you're gonna obey or you're not.
Absolutely.
So.
Man. All right, so tell us about. I remember when I first reached out to you. So we met at Flavor Fest, and then after that, I reached out to you to try to conduct the interview, and you were telling me you were going to Israel. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll hit you up when you come back. So tell us about that. How was that trip?
Bro, I'm not even really sure if we have enough time to talk about everything that happened in Israel.
Yeah, man.
But I will say in short, man, that it really was a life-changing experience for me, man. Just to see, I'm sure that people who go to Israel probably say the same thing. The Bible comes alive, and it really does. You know what I'm saying? When you see everything that happened spatially, like you see where Jesus was crucified, you see the Garden of Gethsemane. I think one of the main things that really spoke out to me was the Garden of Gethsemane, man, where Jesus was praying. And I think in my own personal life, the Lord has really been challenging me in the area of prayer, challenging me in the area of intercession. And so not just the prayer in passing whenever I need something or praying over my food, but it's more of okay, let's feel the heart of God for somebody else.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of lacking, especially in the hip hop culture, where we're kind of focused on entertainment as of late. It is entertaining, but if we can't translate the heart of God to people, we're really missing it. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
A lot of that happens in the prayer closet. And so God's just been challenging me with that, man. So in the Garden of Gethsemane, it was really, it was a powerful moment for me, man.
Awesome, man.
Like, Jesus is praying, standing in the gap for people, and he calls us to do the same. So it's powerful.
Wow, man. Wow, that's amazing, man, that you're able to go over there and really make that connection and really, have an impact like that on your life and on your spiritual life, man. So, wow.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on, man. You're doing big things, man. And you were talking about the whole go, concept. So, I was trolling your website or whatever, trolling your YouTube, and I was looking, and I came across a video, and you're in a mall, and you're about to do a challenge, and you called it the Soapbox Challenge. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I realized what you were about to do. You were about to just do a spoken word piece right in the middle of the mall, like an impromptu thing. It wasn't like there was a stage or nothing. I started feeling nervous for you. Like, I was like, oh my God, he's about to do this. So tell us.
The nerves were going, man. They were going.
Man, but you know what? You just went. You just go and just did it. So tell us about the Soapbox Challenge. How did you come up with that? Did you come across it? And why you felt like, you know what, I need to do this?
Yeah, so, man, I actually did a spoken word video called Soapbox, and I had done that a couple of years ago, and that was actually my original idea for Soapbox.
Is that the one where you're standing on the street, on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
exactly.
Yep. Okay.
Exactly. So with that video, like, I wanted to do it in a public place originally. And so we decided, me and my sister actually shot the video. And,
oh wow, okay.
We decided like, okay, we're just gonna go on the side of a corner and just do it that way. But I could never shake that idea of just going out in public and just doing it. And so fast forward, man, I come back from Israel, and one of the things that really kind of inspired that whole thing was, when you're in Israel, you see the spiritual warfare that's going on, and you feel it. It's tangible, especially when you're in Jerusalem. Everybody's trying to set up shop in Jerusalem, man. Like all the religions, and so you feel that. You feel a lot of the tension there, and then you hear some of the persecution that's going on. I was talking to a guy. Actually, this guy was talking to our group. He's a pastor. He was in Bethlehem, and he's talking about how he has been standing through persecution for the sake of Jesus, and for the sake of the gospel. And he's been shot 4 times. His church has been bombed 14 times. 14 times. And this dude is still going hard. He's still planting churches. In the midst of that kind of persecution. And so I came back and I was like, dude, like, there's no reason why we shouldn't just proclaim in public, man. So I went out, did the Soapbox Challenge, man, and I wanted to encourage other artists to do it. And since then, there have been other artists that have jumped on, man, and have just done it in the malls, done it in different places, and there's more videos on the way too. So it's been encouraging, man.
Wow, man. And I can kind of understand, the reality that the shock you probably felt when you realized like how much that man is going through, but still doing his thing. Because sometimes over here in the States, I think, we kind of, I don't want to say get complacent, but we live a great life for the most part. We have, it's very, very, very different. I've been overseas 4 times on deployment, and life is very different for a lot of people over there, and we couldn't even fathom, over here like that. But for you to bring that back,
bro. We don't have to deal with that, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have to deal with that over here. Like, it's not even a. We're dealing with the raising of the eyebrow. That's the some of the worst things that we're dealing with. We're dealing with somebody cussing at us. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, that's it. So, it was just a challenge to get people to be brave, man, and to stand for the Lord.
Well, like I said, when I watched that video, I instantly felt nervous for you, and then you did it, And I think there was even, I don't know if there was one guy or one person was saying something. I don't know if he was kind of like heckling you a little bit, but you steadfast, you stood strong, you steadfast, and you went through it, and you did it, man. So kudos to you, man. That was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, my brother. I mean, it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was trying to heckle,
Yeah.
but it was all good. I was like, man, I'm out here. And then once you just get started, I think that's kind of a lesson, man. You get started, and the Lord just begins to fill your mouth, and you're out there, man, and He's empowering you to do it.
Yep.
You know.
Absolutely, man. Man, that's absolutely amazing, man. It's a great interview with you, man. I really appreciate you dropping all this knowledge and really just taking the time out to do this, man. You got a lot of stuff going on. You're doing some big things, and you're bringing about a refreshing set of motivations, refreshing. I want to say change, but I just feel refreshed by the insight that you're bringing into the community, man. So I really look forward to following your movement, and continuing to keep track of you and kind of get motivated off you, man. That's really motivating.
Yeah, amen, brother. It's I'm hoping that this is what's happening, man. Is that God uses whatever is going on with me, because I don't even know at times, but whatever was going on, man, I'm praying that He just use it to edify His people, man.
Awesome,
so
man. Awesome.
I appreciate the opportunity, my brother.
Yes, sir. All right, so we're gonna spin a new single from you titled "That Feel Good Song." Tell us about the creation and the creator behind that.
Yeah, so a lot of that is kudos to my wife, because she was saying that I was making dark music, and so
Okay.
so she was like, you need to come out with some happy stuff, and so I already liked, I like the gumbo, man, of music. I like throwing in, rock, rap. I mean, I like some of the feels of EDM, and this is really kind of like an EDM record. And so yeah, man, we just took a shot at it, did it, man, and by God's grace, it's kind of catching on, especially here in the city. So dancers are starting to use it.
Yep.
Sports teams are starting to use it.
Oh,
which
wow.
is really cool.
Yeah, man.
And then the radio stations, like just different radio stations, starting to pick it up. And I think it's just really the message of it, man, is just an overall encouragement, man. We see crazy things happening. We see injustices happening. We see a lot of these things that are going on. And the scripture comes to mind, man, that the joy of the Lord is our strength. So if the devil can actually steal our joy, then he has our strength.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the fight is really a fight for joy, man. And we have to stay encouraged. And so the song is really just talking about that, man. Despite everything that's going on, our confidence is in the fact that Jesus has the ultimate victory.
Yes, sir. And
us in Christ, we have the ultimate victory, and so we can feel good.
Absolutely.
So, like a faith confession, man. Absolutely. During bad times.
Hey, so I know we got to wrap the interview up, but I have to ask you one more question, because you brought this up, and every time I hear this, being a married man myself, I really feel compelled to ask, especially when you kind of talk about it a little bit. But you said that your wife had some input into the music that you were making, and based off of her critique for you, the constructive criticism for you, you went on ahead and created that feel good music. So you and your wife, you integrate your wife into everything you do. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me not to. Like,
sure.
She's life.
Yeah, absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? She's a part of life.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, absolutely, man. Good.
And that's one of the things that whenever I come across, I did a show a couple of weeks ago on power couples, and whenever I come across like somebody who's doing really, really, really good, there's always one common factor, and that is that their wife and their family is included in everything it is that they're doing. When we were at Flavor Fest, one of the first interviews I did was with Kenton Jones, and his wife was right there by his side, and that was one of the things I had to take the opportunity, because I really think it's important for especially for the single people out there, you're by yourself, but when you're married, you really got to incorporate your family into what it is you do, because if you don't, it can kind of work against you a little bit. So I just kind of wanted to speak on that a little bit.
Let me add this. Let me add this, man, that the Bible says, when the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor of the Lord.
Yes.
Like, that's literally true in my life. There's a lot of things that have come across my path that weren't because of me specifically, but it was because of the favor of the Lord that was on my wife that ran across my path. You know what I'm saying?
I totally understand.
These opportunities happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just really encouraging, man. And then of course, like, you don't want to be that minister where your wife and your children feel like estranged and you're out doing whatever, chasing your dream and leaving the family behind, because then they grow to resent ministry. You don't want that to happen, man.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
No, I totally agree with you, man. I totally understand. I've told people all the time, the reason why I'm even here, loving the Lord and starting my journey of faith is all because of my wife. My wife kept her faith for like 12 years, and finally, I think God rewarded her for her diligence and made a change in me, man, because I was kind of a hard-headed dude, but thank God he got me here now, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome, man. So whenever I hear that, I always have to capitalize on that real quick, because I think it's important for the married folks out to understand, or people thinking about getting married to understand that you got to incorporate your family into this. You got to incorporate your wife or your husband or whatever it may be into your ministry, man. So
absolutely.
To make it happen. So, man, I really appreciate you doing this interview, man. Tell my audience how they can reach you on social media, your website, and most importantly, how they can support you by purchasing your music.
Yeah, so all of that can actually be found on my website, freedommusicgroup.com. If you go there, you'll find all of my social links. You can find me on anything social at Jarrell FMG, Jarrell FMG, and so you can find me on there. But again, links to purchase my albums, anything that you would ever need to know about me is on my website at freedommusicgroup.com.
Absolutely, man. You guys make sure you go check out freedommusicgroup.com. This has been the fabulous interview with Jarrell from Freedom Music Group, man. He's amazing. He wears many hats. He's doing big things for the community. He is a kingdom ambassador for sure, man. Once again, I know I said this like 15 times so far, but I really appreciate you doing this interview, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I appreciate the opportunity, and I thank you, man, for what you're doing for the kingdom, man. We need this infrastructure all around in CHH and just in the gospel community, man. So thank you for giving to the Lord and giving back to the community, man. It's amazing.
Absolutely, sir. And if there's anything you need from me as a radio personality, as just a man, period, you know how to reach me. You got my number, you got my email. All you got to do is reach out and let me know, and whatever I can do for you, consider it done.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, do me a favor. Go ahead and front announce that feel-good song for us that we're about to spin right now on the show.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. This is Jarrell, and you are listening to KPJOF Radio, and you are about to hear my latest single called